I'll humbly request Krishna Prakash to do the honors. Krishna Prakash.
Thank you, Amjad. A warm good evening to everyone. Uh, Hello, I welcome everyone who is present today. Today's session is a placement cell initiative, which is in association with Placement Relation Cell. Today's our speaker is Miss Anju Dony, who is our alumni of batch 2017. Miss Anju Dony is working as an analyst in TCS for past 4 years, and she is an alumni of SOMS of batch 2015 to 17. And also, apart from that, she was the Tarang coordinator of Tarang 2016, of which she conducted that event with her vibrant presence with a successful, which she made a successful event. Also, she has marked her career as a content creator and curator as well. Today, she will be sharing her experience of her corporate journey from since then of after the songs, and also she will be enlightening us with her experience as an analyst, and also will be guiding us for that path, irrespective of the specialization which we took. Also, Anju Dony ma'am was the alumni with the specialization of marketing and operations, and today she will be giving a session to share her knowledge of what all certification and the skills are required for a business analyst role. This is a really honor for everyone who is present here. I welcome Anju ma'am for continuing her session. Over to you, ma'am, and I welcome all the
Thank you,
students
Krishna
who is present today.
Prakash. Yeah, as Krishna Prakash has mentioned, it is really an honor and privilege for all of us to attend this session. And we really intend these sessions to bridge a gap between industry and academia. And I think Anju would be giving us much insights on the same. Thank you, Krishna Prakash, and please.
Thank you, Amjad. Welcome, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you guys. First of all, Anju is fine. I'm still almost a middle level employee at TCS. I'm not even a middle level, not even completely a middle level employee. It's just 4 years with TCS, and TCS was my first job. I must say that. But I was a person who never wanted a IT job. But then, once you get a job, you can't do anything. Once you are related to the placement cell, either you can't sit for the next set of interviews or you accept it happily. Yeah, so that was how TCS happened to me. And most of you, when you read the tagline for today's session as like certifications and skills for a BA, most of you might have expected my first question to be like, what do you think as a BA? No, that's not my first question. My first question is, why do you want to become a BA? In case any one of you can say the answer or type it out in the chat.
I think that is one of the interesting thing. Like being an analyst, you can actually think about and work on new things.
Yeah, that's true. So I never wanted to be a BA. I took my specialization as marketing and operations, as Krishna was saying. So I never wanted to be a BA. I never wanted to be anywhere related to IT field for what do we say? Like I never wanted to be a part of anything related to IT because my programming skills were it's nil. You can say it's complete. It's a big complete zero. So I always felt everything with IT field has to do with programming, coding, and everything, developing, testing, everything. But things change. You being a BA can be a several things. What do we say? BA is like business analyst. So, I mean, suppose your employees are part of your business. So, obviously, when you're, giving your employees appraisals, giving your employees promotion, you're analyzing their, skill set, you're analyzing their experience, you're analyzing whatever they have done. So you're kind of analyzing them. So in a way, a HR manager is also a BA. And when you're into marketing, which I wanted to do very much, so you will be analyzing the markets, you will be analyzing the sales, you'll be analyzing your competitors. So that's also a BA. Marketing is part of your business, so that's also a kind of a business analysis. So mainly people prefer to be a BA for the job market growth, or they can actually springboard to any other career. You being a BA doesn't just mean you have to be in that you have to be that bridge between your customer and your IT people. You can be a bridge between your business and a business. You can be a bridge between managers and users. You can be that gap filling agent between a lot of things. So, yeah, the few things like I have seen people, even I would have written in my resume that the skills include communication, negotiation, critical thinking, blah, 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 all those things I had written in my CV. But these days, what I see with people with managers who get that CV, to evaluate or something, is like, yeah, all these skills are good and fine, but we expect something more. So that something more is what you do with your certifications, or probably your knowledge. Like right now, I'm not talking about the people with experience, obviously, but other people who are like freshers, every one of you are almost on the same level except for your grades and everything. Leave that. Once you pass out of your college, you get in a university, no one is going to bother about your grades. You get a good job, that will be your next level, that will be your stepping stone for the next level. No one is going to care like how much you got in 10th, how much you got in 12th. No, you need to have a good communication because you need to bridge the gap. You need to have a good negotiation because you need to be able to handle your stakeholders, your end users, everyone. You need to have problem solving skills because like you need to create a win-win situation both for you and the opposite party. And you need to be a good facilitator because you want to conduct meetings, you want to achieve your goals and everything. And then you should be good at organizing, which is like taking notes, taking references. I take a diary wherever I go, whichever call even if it's a simple call, even if it's a environmental rights call, we have this mental health calls, we have this environmental right calls. So even if that's one, I just note it down. Somewhere something I could leverage it. You need to have critical thinking to analyze findings and everything, but that doesn't mean that is the only thing you need. Just read a lot, even if it's like, okay, I'm a person who can read a lot, but I have seen people who can't read at least one page of it. Just read the tiny nuggets of info, like on you have this Instagram channel called marketing MOM, marketing media. So just do that tiny nuggets. It will be like a one page, probably like 2-3 lines. Just watch some videos, watch some advertisements, watch some you might be doing your BRP right now, you might want to refer papers. Just do an industry analysis. Just know, like, once you are stepping into not just TCS, not just any IT company, you're stepping into an industry. Suppose we had VKC over there. So just make sure, like, if you're going into a footwear industry or if you're going into FMCG industry, you're aware of whatever is happening around, and you're aware of like that intra industries also. Because you might not need the whole thing, you might not need the whole branding thing or something, but somewhere a part of it you will be able to have a part of that strategy, you will be able to use a part of that strategy. And yeah, so what is a BA? The most important question. Yeah, I expect the session to be interactive because I am not a good speaker, I know that.
Ma'am, analyzing any type of business, we can say it as a business analyst of any kind of business, ma'am. Either it is related to marketing, operation, finance. We have to analyze the skills what we have needed at that times.
True. Yeah, that's actually true. Because like when we say BA, sorry. Yeah, when we say BA, that bridge capping between the, you don't just mean the requirement analyst guide. Like there are kind of like several kinds of BA. For example, you have this business process analyst who, who makes decision for you based on modeling and simulation, who's actually like considers all the what if scenarios. He considers, I mean, he or she considers the as see situation to the to be situation. And they are also called as, business process engineers, workflow engineers, etc. Then there's this requirement analyst, which we all know as this BA, who analyzes requirements, solves problem for an IT solution, helps with the functional design, and who is known as an IT analyst or a system analyst. Then we have a system analyst who is actually more of a systems centric role. Actually, he or she doesn't participate in requirement gathering at all. It's just like, I mean, they don't want to know why, or they don't want to know, I mean, what was the need of the end user. No, they don't want to know anything. They just have to design it. The whole system design, the coding, the programming part, everything like that. And then there's the data analyst who is good with reports, problem solving, and they find all this relationship between data types and everything. They are like, yeah, they go to this data science kind of things, and they are like the huge. They need some kind of programming also, which I can't do. And then there's this user experience analyst who does this interface design, and we have the software, so he kind of checks the usability of, he or she kind of check the usability of the final user, like how they kind of create a mock-up or a prototype and then do it. So these are just a few of the business analyst types, but there are more. Like, as I said, a BDM could be a business development manager, could be a BA, HR marketing, HR manager could be a BA, a data analyst, a knowledge management person, a project manager. They all could be a BA. But what are the things that you need to be a BA? Like, you need to have that analysis skills, you need to have that requirement gathering skills. But you can actually gather the requirements by using brainstorming. You can just do interviews, you can just research through papers. But above that, what do you need? You need to have a good set of soft skills and a good set of IQ in the sense, no, it's not something what you read at, okay, these are this. No, you are not going to mug up everything. No, that's not. So when I say soft skills, it means like the verbal as well the written skills, because verbal skills are important when you want to talk to your clients, or when you want to talk to your stakeholders, when you want to tell these IT guys in the sense, tell these developers and testers, okay, this is what we want, but this is also what we want. So I'll tell you, the first thing that TCS teaches you once you comes to this thing is like, you might know your customer, but you will never understand what your customer wants. See, your customer will be telling, I need to have I'll need to have a chair, but I need these special functionalities in a way which makes it to under table. Then we ask him like, do you need a table? No. I need a chair itself, but I need a bigger, a tall, a long one. So that's actually a customer never knows, never knows how to put it in. So your job as a BA is like, you are supposed to ask question, you are supposed to verbally, and you are supposed to find out, okay, what he or she is intending, what your customer needs, what your end user needs. And then there's a written communication thing, where you are supposed to write your mails, and the technical documentation part, you will be asked to do a SOP. My first experience to creating an SOP was like last year, when I was like, okay, what is SOP? SOP is standard operating procedure. You tend to forget things as you age, actually. So I never wrote an SOP till my third year, and I was like, I just wrote it in a normal, using a normal word file, and people were like, no, you need to have the version number, you need to have the stakeholder names, you need to have all those. So just technical writing is as important as your verbal skills also, or as important as your requirement gathering skills. The next thing is your listening and your reading thing. You need to listen like what other people need. You being an HR manager, you need to be as I told, HR manager is also a BA. You need to know what your employees need. You need to listen to them. So if you are bad at listening, there are listening assessments, there are reading assessments like available free of cost online. And then there is like this critical thinking thing, where you find use cases, and they would be asking, what's your solution to this? You have to go through business cases, business use cases, business studies, this HBR studies, everything. I know it's a whole, it takes a hell lot of time to read this thing, but trust me, at the end of the day, when you're talking with a client, you will be having some knowledge, you will be having some insight on what this whole thing is about. And there is a time, like right now, most of the people with most of the companies are being asked to write white papers or POVs or case studies. So case studies, POVs, white papers, the number of white papers, POVs, case studies are increasing. And there was a time when I kind of hated writing my research paper for BRP. But now I conduct a white paper contest in TCS. So it things change actually. And the next thing that I want to tell you is like, you know, just continue learning, just keep learning, just innovate yourselves. Just I when I joined TCS, my first seat, my first cubicle was near the door, and my VP was in the same building, and he used to walk past me, and he never realized that I was an employee there, and I was new there. He never knew me. And few days later, he started talking to me like, yeah, it's a VP. You are going to be scared when you're talking to a VP. And he asked me just the family things. What did you learn? What did you learn? Things were fine. And then, when I started projecting myself, like with various contests, various participation, that is when he started noticing me, and that is when he started asking for my work details. Till that point, he never asked me about anything, rather than like who all are there at my home, how was my parents, how are things at home, what did you study, which college did you go to, blah blah blah. So it's actually like these days most of the companies are telling or most of the most important thing that you do as second years or first years or whatever it is, just brand yourself. Just create a brand for yourself, like you yourself is a brand. Okay, some of you might have this Instagram might have seen this Instagram pages where they sell, and some of you might have even bought things from these Instagram pages. Just brand yourself, not just in Instagram, not just in this thing LinkedIn, not just in Facebook. No, just brand yourself. Once you go to a company, brand yourself. No, you're not going to get a safe space over there, because people who come after you, or then your juniors who joined after like probably a year, they are going to be like, we kind of had this people who came to our team, who was very much skilled, and he was actually getting awarded in our team, and we were like, okay, what are we doing here? We don't even know, because he was good at technical skills. His business analysis skills were good compared to us. And talking about certifications, which is like the whole theme of today's session, there are a few certifications which you could get from IIBA, which is International Institute for Business Analysis. Then there is this certified analysis professional, then Project Management Institute, then there's this International Requirement Engineering Board. Like there are a lot of certifications, and all the certifications are going to cost a hell lot of money. So I have done a certification with IIBA, but I did it after coming to office, for which they actually did the reimbursement and everything. So it's your choice. You have to decide whether you need it right now or you want to do it after joining your company. There are companies which give you reimbursement for doing a course. So it's your need. Like you have to prioritize. Okay, which course I want to do. If am I ready to spend a lot of amount right now? Most of these courses have $100+ as the certificate fee and everything. They also have an exam at the end of the course. Then there are some other sites like you might know Allison and edX, which is kind of free. I think edX right now they have started charging it. Then there's Coursera, Udemy, O'Reilly, LinkedIn, etc. So there are a lot of opportunities. Like there are there are there is knowledge on the net regarding everything, but It's just that you have to go and see these courses with IIBA. The courses I mean, the course that I did, I kind of found everything online. There was nothing else that wasn't rocket science, or that is rocket science, or that wasn't found online. Everything is online. You just had to research. But I needed that certification, so I did it. So it's basically how much you're ready to spend, the need, the dedication. That's what is important. And coming to the technical skills part, a bit of Azure, a bit of cloud, because Azure, it's like the public cloud computing platform. It's actually need right now. A bit of Azure, a bit of cloud. I mean, it doesn't hurt to know what is Azure, what is cloud, and all that. Just the basics. Okay, you don't know. I mean, if you're interested, okay, well and fine. You can learn the whole thing. But if you're not interested, don't. Just learn the basics, because tomorrow your client wants something with a that should be built on an Azure platform, and you don't know what Azure is. It's gonna hurt you, right? So just know, like, just the basic bit of what is Azure, what is cloud, what is MBU, Microsoft Business thing, everything. And coming to languages, a bit of yeah, again a bit of Python, Java, .NET, those things. The basic. Hello, how are you? Because you go and talk to your IT people, you and go and talk to your developers. You won't know you won't know how to transform your customers' need to that programming language. So you should know how to translate that. And then Power BI has been like has been one of the important skills for past 2 3 years, like it, because it helps to unify data, it helps to tidy up data. People are having issues with data and everything, so Power BI has been one thing. And then there was this PMP certificate which talks about the project management certificate, which talks about initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and closing. And then most of the project these days, or most of the companies these days, don't follow the waterfall method. They have shifted to an agile method, which is kind of a philosophy where it is actually a continuous iteration rather than a sequential thing. So you might know the difference between waterfall and agile thing. So these are the few technical or the functional skills that you should be looking at. Most of these things are actually free of cost, so that you won't, it won't hurt you, or it won't hurt to put a effort, like probably an hour a week or something, just to learn this. And the most important thing, like even after coming to a job, it is like continue learning, just brand yourself, like let the leadership notice you. Yeah, so with this I'm done. And in case of any questions, I can take it up.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like how is the work culture in terms of work stability and job description, and what is the career progression if a person or employee joins as a BA, like
Yeah,
till his
it's an
retirement age?
yeah. So as I told, there is like various types of BA. You can join as a BA, and you can move to an architect level, and you can move to a business process engineer level. You can move to a web designer level. So it basically depends on what kind of a BA you are. Like if you're a process analyst, you're going to be a business process engineer and all that. But with whatever we are facing, it's like we were a system analyst, then we'll be an IT analyst, and it goes on like that to be an architect and all that. It varies with organizations. It varies with a lot of factors that is happening around. And work culture wise, like now that it's work from home, things are pretty much easy. But that that connectivity, every issue is still there. But otherwise it's pretty much good actually.
Like a person joining as BA, so what is on an average like performance? So what is the maximum scale he can rise up to in TCS?
We have people who have joined after their, not as a BA, but who have joined after their MBA, who is in the leadership positions. So I am right. I have joined as a BA, but I moved into L&D of TCS. So I mean the learning and development part of TCS. Like with TCS, I mean the most important thing is like you have a flexibility. You can be. I can even move to HR, though I haven't taken HR as my specialization. So that flexibility is there. So it's mainly like what you choose. I can be a BA right now. I can. I mean, post that I can. I can be a uh, project manager, I can be a delivery manager, and I can be a lead, I can be a project lead, I can be a, yeah, it goes on like that. Yeah. Are there any more questions?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Yeah.
What was your UG? How, in which subject you completed UG, and whether that helped for your business analytic position in any way?
Yeah, so my UG was my UG was BTech, and I took EC, which wasn't easy as the subject sounds, as most of you might have already said, like most of your friends might have already said. And no, it had nothing to do with my job actually. I mean, most of the MBA, things like somewhere or the other, you had to use the Potter's forces, you had to use the SWOT analysis. So the basic MBA things, whatever you learn, you had to use it one or the other place. But with my UG thing, I never had to do anything. And I don't want to do anything in the first place.
Okay.
Yeah, so you doing your UG in, I mean, you being from a degree background or you being from a BTech background, it has nothing to do. Like you, I mean, the way you project yourself, that is what it has to do. Like I'll tell you, in UG, we had this interview, we had this campus interview where there was a GD round, and people were given a topic, like five of them were asked to support the notion, and the other five were asked to oppose the notion. And there was this lady who was sitting in the first place who kind of summed up every point, like so that the other four of them who are supposed to support the notion did not even have an additional point. She kind of took all the 5 minutes and completed every point in the whole thing. So the other four were like, okay, they don't have to tell, they didn't have anything extra to tell. And this lady, and then the conversation started, then they were opposing, then there was this communication happening, and this lady was actually pointing her finger, and she was kind of raising her voice. And the only reason she was rejected from that interview was that she was the top of my class. So I mean, after the interviewer came out, he kind of personally called her and told her, like, the only reason I'm, not taking you is that, you were actually, kind of raising your voice. You were actually not negotiating. You weren't thinking properly that you need to give space to others. You need to project yourselves. But that doesn't mean that you don't give space to others. So it's a thin line between a kind of a need and an ego. So you need to be something, you will be able to do it. I'm not yeah, I'm not doing anything related to operations or marketing with TCS right now. So your specializations, yeah, if you are going into a different industry, if you are going to FMCG industry, you're going into the marketing field, you need that. you are going into the production field, you're being a production engineer, you need your operations knowledge. It's basically like how you want to do it.
Okay.
One more question: what is the difference between BA and consultant profile?
Yeah, so consultant, generally when we say a consultant profile, a consultant is supposed to have a high level of expertise in whatever topic. Like if you are hiring a marketing consultant, he is supposed to have a high level of expertise and that concrete connections in the market. So, but when you are if you are hiring a BA, you can be a BA. I mean, you can have a BA as a junior or a senior. You have a BA lead position. So when it comes to BA junior, it will be basically like requirement gathering, modeling, then analysis, that part. But the other part, there is a decision making thing to it. At the highest status of a BA's life, you get to make decisions for yourself. You get to make decisions for the project. You get to make decisions for your clients. You get to negotiate between the clients directly and the company. So and your personal company. And your company which you're working for. But a consultant is, he will be giving suggestions. He doesn't have to. He has gone up. If you're hiring an external consultant, suppose I'm hiring an external consultant for TCS, he doesn't have anything to lose. He'll be just giving suggestions to improve business. These could be your clients, these could be your things. But for giving those suggestions, you need to have a high level of knowledge. Like to be a BA, you could go back and read. Okay, you're getting a project from a banking client, you could just go back and read more about what the client is doing and everything. But for a consultant, he need to, for hiring a consultant in the first place, he need to have knowledge about the various banks that are already there, the various banking technologies and everything.
I saw Anmol raising a hand. If Anmol has a doubt, please.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah.
Ma'am, if I am taking operation and finance, two two major two specialization, then which type of company should I prefer for summer internship?
Yeah. So I did my internship with I did my internship in operations, and I did my BRP in marketing because I have taken in marketing and operations. So for the operations part, I did it with HLL Life Care, and it was because I wanted to do something related to, something with the production thing and all that. So I just wanted to do something with the quality, the production, and how the process is. So it's basically like what you need. Your internship, and yeah, while I was appearing for the interview, I hadn't completed. We hadn't even started BRP because we were doing the BRP like during our year. We were doing the BRP in the final semester, in the fourth semester, not as a complete. I think right now you have it, a part of it in the third semester and a part of it in the fourth semester. That's what I heard. But otherwise, like we were doing it completely in the fourth semester. So my interview was in third semester, and they did ask me questions. Like I had appeared for the marketing part of the interview, and but still they did ask me questions like how was the internship and everything. So if you are looking for a if you are looking for a uh, role related to finance, go for something in finance. If you are looking for a role that is related to manufacturing operations and all that, just go for something in operations. Go for being a QA. You have this quality manager in most of the industries. You have this um, operations manager kind of thing, where it will be just day to day activity operations. It will be just day to day things and all that. It need not be manufacturing in the whole thing. So every industry is going to have an operations manager thing, because to take care of the day to day things and everything. So it's basically what you need. And at the end of the day, like with the placement cell, I'm not blaming anyone, but with the placement cell, it's basically like whatever you get first, you're supposed to take that job. So yeah, it happens like that.
Ma'am, one more doubt.
Yeah.
Ma'am, as I take as a finance as a major or minor specialization, and here also we have a certain type of job which we have to perform as a operation manager. Then how can I manage that at that time, ma'am? If we are taking as a finance as a major specialization, and here we have recruited for operation manager, then it is manageable how, ma'am? How is it manageable?
Yeah. So the first question, I mean, the first most important thing that you're supposed to remember for your interviews, also for your first step with the company, also first year, whatever mistakes you're going to make, most of the companies are not going to make a huge fuss of it, because they know you're juniors. They know you're prone to making mistakes. They know, like, you are fresh out of your college. You don't have that industry knowledge. It takes almost more than a year to learn what the industry is. So you almost get, like, I kind of had like 3 months to learn what I'm supposed to do, even if it was just a talent development. So, I mean, it is a basic thing, but I kind of had 3 months. Like, my manager freely gave me 3 months, like, okay, go and do these courses, just learn what this whole thing is, and then come back. So, and the first year, whatever mistakes you make, almost, I would say 85% people does not care about it. People know that I mean, okay, there are times when you might get a good shouting. Okay, it happens. It could be because your manager is having a bad time at his personal life. Just think of it that way. And
Okay, ma'am.
the other thing, when you are telling, like, you are taking finance as your major and operations as your minor thing, uh, see, Anmol, whatever you learn, it stays with you.
Yes, ma'am.
You might have learned a bit of operations. You might have learned a bit of finance. I mean, you might have learned a lot of finance, but you might have got a operations job. There's nothing wrong in going and asking people, or there's nothing wrong in going and going back and checking what is that concept.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
still remember my second year. I had taken operation specializations, and we were having classes with the mechanical batch and mechanical first years. And our sir asked us to draw a fishbone diagram, and we were completely clueless. Even though we were supposed to learn it properly in the first year, we didn't learn it. So that time, this MPA class and the mechanical operations class was combined, actually. So everyone in the mechanical class kind of drew it very nicely. They kind of formatted everything, but we didn't know it. So we just went back and learned it. We just went back to the textbook. I think Taha or something was the textbook that point of time. We just went back to the textbook. We just learned the whole thing and just came back and submitted the assignment. See, these days you kind of have a lot of resources just lying around. It just takes some time for you to search and find it.
Got
I
it,
have,
ma'am.
yeah, I have a friend who has taken systems and HR as her main specialization, working in Federal Bank. Yeah, so she is she is with the banking industry, and she kind of hated finance on the whole. Yeah, so you just go back once you get a job. I mean, it's purely your choice. Like, as I told, I never wanted to be with an IT company, but I thought, okay, fine, it's my first job. Let me go with the flow. I just went back and learned what TCS is, what what Assure is, what TCS, the process of TCS is, what BA does in TCS, what are the whole thing with TCS. Yeah, it might take some time, but it's okay, it's fine. your first year, you're prone to make mistakes, you're prone to take your time to learn things. It's fine.
Ma'am, I have one little doubts.
Yeah.
Suppose, ma'am, I have worked as a project coordinator in DMRC project,
Mm,
and right now I am deciding to take do internship from DMRC only,
mm.
and just thinking to operation as a measure. Then it is good for me, ma'am.
See, and that's purely your thing. Like, I'll tell you, it's purely your thing. And I mean, from an industry perspective, yes, doing an internship in operations is a good thing. But from your perspective, tomorrow, if you are not able to, learn everything that comes in the second year of operations, and you find finance to be easy, you doing a special, and you don't, and at the point, like after 6 months or something, you feel like you don't want to, after your internship, if you feel like you don't want to roll in an operations perspective, then there's no use of it. So it's basically your choice. Like for me, I wanted to do it in operations. I did it in operations. I mean, we don't have this
No, no,
summer
ma'am.
internship.
I'm
No,
asking that. I'm asking, ma'am, that I am want to do internship from DMRC. Then is it good place, ma'am, for do internship?
yeah, DMRC, it's like most of us know DMRC. So when you're sitting for an interview, you see, it's basically rather than the company, it's your ability to explain what you did in the internship. That actually, if someone is asking a question about your internship, it's basically your thing. And the way you project yourselves in LinkedIn or your CV, like, okay, I could simply write, I just did a question. I just created a so my for my internship. I just created a questionnaire for the quality check in HLL life care. But for my CV, I had written it very well, like analyze various factors of the total quality management in HLL life care and worked with blah 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 blah. I gave a whole paragraph in my CV. So it's how you project yourselves. So DMRC, yeah, people in India know DMRC, so it's actually a good thing.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
So if you are not getting much of questions anymore, we would like to hear about your experience in SOMS, ma'am, because now we have this, uncertainty. Here we were not completely offline and all. We just got a few time in the campus. So it'd be great to hear from you, from your memories in SOMS, and how your time was.
Yeah. So, I, yeah, as I mentioned, my UG was not a good time for me.
Also,
So
just to add on, I read that you were also the Tarang coordinator, so we are also on the
yeah,
verge of going to Tarang. So it'd be great if you can add a few points regarding Tarang too.
yeah. So, my I did take a break here before joining my PG because I just wanted to, leave that burden of my BTech over there and take something new afresh. So, uh, yeah, after coming to NIT, the first few days it was kind of hectic because we had classes till 8 at night, and we had classes from early morning 7 to 8 at night. It was kind of, we were rushing in between. We had classes in that you would have seen, some of you at least who are there in college might have seen a PNB ATM on your way to zones. So that was our first building, and that is where we had classes, and we were scheduling our own classes. Like we didn't have a prescribed timetable. We just used to adjust it ourselves and the seniors, because that was the only classroom there over there. And see, we had to adjust the timing of our seniors batch and our batch to get that one classroom. And then when we moved to the main campus, which is there right now near the MBA hostel, that was the first time we thought, okay, we that like there was a dip in Tarang for almost like few years, 4 5 years. I mean, there was no Tarang that was conducted. So we were like, okay, we need to conduct Taranga. I mean, we don't have a. I mean, when we checked for the placement, when we checked for the internship, that was the first time we found out that, or when we said to our relatives, that was the first time we found out that most people, even the people, I mean, even the students in NIT, doesn't know NIT as an MBA department. So to project ourselves, to publicize ourselves, to brand ourselves, that's what where we thought, okay, let's bring back Tarang. And Tarang, that thing was actually tough because you have IIM near to your campus, and most people doesn't know there's an MBA department, and most people wouldn't give you sponsorships. So we went, like, we literally kind of asked each and everyone we knew. We kind of asked the entrepreneurs, we kind of asked the big business, we kind of asked the middle level thing, we kind of asked the shops, everything. That's how we got the sponsors. We kind of did ask the I think it was State Bank of India, SBI. The SBI was the main sponsor at that point of time, and to coordinate the event, it was kind of actually tough because I mean, our seniors nor us did not have any knowledge of how to coordinate an event with within SOMS actually. Like, yeah, you might have done events in your UG level, you might have done, that would be different. You have a lot of people around, you have your teachers around, you have your seniors around to tell us like what to do. But for us and for our seniors, we did not have anyone because Tarang was kind of in a halt situation for a long time. And then we kind of we kind of got the help of seniors, the first batch seniors, and we thought, okay, let's have a program like that. And our super senior, super, I think in the first batch, they kind of came up with a band, and they kind of they kind of had a 15 to 30 minutes program where they sang songs and everything. And then we kind of had a movie promotion. That was the time one of the Malayalam movies was releasing, and it was kind of a campus story. So we had a movie promotion, and the stars and the director, everyone was coming. So that also drew people, and social media was one another part, like where we kind of got all the thing, and then we went in person to most of the colleges. Yeah, at this point of time it's not feasible, but we went in person, like to Kollam, we went in person to Trivandrum. And whenever you're going home, whenever people went home, we actually went back and we actually told them, see, you're going to your place, like there are these many MBA colleges near that area, just go in person and tell those associates over there. We kind of had a mail, standardized mail kind of thing, and just give it over there and ask them to come and participate. And this was the same thing with NIT Trichy and all that. And yeah, so that time we kind of had more people than we anticipated, because we were thinking, okay, this is the first time, maybe we are going to get less number of people. But this NIT Trichy, they were like huge in number. They kind of participated in everything. I don't know, for consecutively for many years they were winning the Tarang main title actually. So see, the thing is, it's about branding. It's about branding. The whole thing about Tarang, the whole thing about SOMS, it's about totally about branding. I mean, I kind of have my people who have asked me, like, okay, people in my office who ask me when I say I'm from NID, you did your MTech there, right? I'm like, no, MBA. NIT is an MBA thing. But right now, I think Alpid, there was your senior. I mean, Alpid, who's in your second year, and then there was your seniors who are my colleagues and who are doing MBA in SOMS. So it's totally about the whole branding thing, and how you brand your college. You go and tell to your office mates. You go and tell to your juniors. You go and tell to your colleges, like, okay, there is an MBA college. There's a thing like, and even we went and participated in IAM, we went and participated in IAM Bangalore, we went and participated in IAM Calicut, we went and participated in whichever colleges at that point of time where there was a fest, we went and participated. And we gave them the invite and came back. So when we go and participate, obviously, I mean, at least half the time they'll come back and participate. So you get that participation. And sponsorship, it was kind of easy with us. I mean, we did ask a few, but it was kind of easy with us because some of the batchmates itself had their own personal business and all that, so it was kind of easy that way. Yeah, Amjad.
Okay, yeah, that was like great. So if we don't have any other questions from the audience, probably yeah, we'll go for the vote of thanks. And thank you, Anju. That was a great session. I think we could all get some of the other insights. Yes, Rohit, please.
Yeah, like what is the
Yes,
best
Rohit.
method of recruitment off campus in TCS?
So right earlier it was like they used to go to colleges one after the another and select a particular number of students. But right now they have this national level qualifier test which happens probably from Jan to March or something. I think MBA test happening right now or something. I think Harshad, I did share something with you, right? Harsha, I
Yes,
did
ma'am.
share
Yes, ma'am.
something.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I shared it to file. Yeah, placement, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So they have this national level qualifier test, so that every tier one, tier two, irrespective of the tier or irrespective of the college, irrespective of the location, people could actually be a part of it. So uh, there are two things with after MBA where you can be a part of HR or you can be a part of the IT thing. So for IT thing, it's general aptitude. No, it's actually tough, but it's general aptitude. You could crack it with a bit of practice and everything. And with the HR thing, it is generally like the situation analysis questions, like what would you do if this was the case? What would you do if one of the employees is doing this? What would you do, like that? So and then you come to the interview, you have this questions whichever is related to your particular specialization, and then you probably have a MR round, I mean managerial round, where how just to know how you analyze the situation and everything, and you have your HR round, which would ask like if there is any gaps or anything, or I mean your location and your feasibility to work with TCS. What are your future plans, like that?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
then I think there aren't any questions. So,
Yeah. Also, we are
yeah. Thank
almost the time. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, everyone. It is actually good to be talking with you people. Like I used to connect with Amjad and Harsha for the alumni meeting. But it's actually good, to be talking with you people. It just makes us connected back to SOMS, and you know just stay connected, even if your friends or even if your juniors or seniors or someone needs help, like just help them out. And the other thing that I wanted to tell is like, for the first years when you're going for an interview, if you don't know anything, just tell you don't know anything, because we have had people who come to an interview and we would know, the interviewer would know in the first place, like that person doesn't know the answer, but he would be like, that is like that, this is like that. He would be giving all the roundabouts about thing, but he would be me giving the answer. So if you don't know anything, just tell you don't know, you haven't learned that, you're gonna learn that in future, you would get back on that and something like that, even in the job, not just in the interview. So yeah, this is it. And brand yourselves, continue learning.
Thank you, Anju. So I would like to appreciate Harsha for coordinating and organizing this event. And thank you, Harsha. And I would also like to thank Anju for the constant support and cooperation that we have been getting regarding alumni affairs. I would like to request Shine to do the vote of thanks. And yeah, thank you all.
Yeah. Thank you, Amjad. As the session is emerging towards the end, I would like to express my gratitude on behalf of the Alumni Relations and Placement Cell of SOMS to Ms. Anju Dony for taking her time from her busy schedule. Thank you, ma'am, for enriching us on business analytics with your experience in TCS. Hope many of you found it extremely useful. I would also like to thank Srijit sir, who's not here, and also the coordinators, especially Harsha and Abjad. Lastly, I would like to thank the participants for their active presence. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day.